What we're hearing right now is just the close samples. Hello YouTube, Geoff Bosco here. A little while back I bought Trigger 2 and started using it on my drum recordings here and there when I needed it. But I found that I didn't really like the stock sounds, and I found them a little inflexible. I wanted to be able to add different close mics, you know, like a top and bottom snare, in and out bass drum, which the stock trigger sounds didn't really give you that option, and they're kind of inflexible and kind of have their sound all dialed in. And another thing I discovered is through making my own samples is I started just getting close sounds, and I found out that if you just replace the close sounds, it yields a much more natural sounding result. And once you start introducing the ambience from the sampled rooms, that's when it starts giving it that sampley sound that I don't really like, and I can usually pick it out pretty well. So that was the idea, and so I also decided, instead of, since I was going to do that, I might as well just, you know, not even have close mics and just use triggers. So I went into, like, if you've seen some of the previous few videos I posted about going into Horizon Music Group, which is a pretty well-known studio in West Haven, Connecticut, and luckily I went to high school with Rick Demko, and we played in a band together for a little while in the late 2000s. Yeah, I was very lucky because I wanted to find a good room with good analog gear. This turned out to be exactly what I was looking for. So even though I was just going for close mics, the room really matters. Even if the sound of the room isn't like directly entering the mic, and it's still a very dry sound, it makes a difference in the end recording. I kind of take it back to that video Rhett Shull made where he's doing the tests of recording the amp inside the isolation box as compared to outside of it, and the difference was phenomenal. I came up with the term bloom for it. So the way the drum blooms is different in each room. So if you have a really good sounding drum room, even though the mics are really close up and not capturing the ambience of the room, the way the drum reacts to the room is completely different and more open, and it just breathes. Unfortunately for me, the room at Horizon Music Group is insanely good. I have all the tracks that were recorded right here. So I am going to go to tom number 1, and I'm going to turn all the processing off. So there I have the 10-inch tom. I just take that, and this is in Reaper. I select that amount, and then do render, and stereo, mono, because I'm just mixing these together. The first time I tried this, I did the bottom and top mics separately. Here, I'll show you. That's the bottom there. There's the top. And I wanted to be able to mix them independently of each other, but I found with the tom-toms there's so many variables between each hit and tone, and it's not just velocity, it's where you hit on the drum. And it's especially true of the tom-toms, that when you have all these random samples going off based on how you program them into the trigger instrument editor, you want both the top and the bottom sound to be ones that were happening at the same time. So if you do them independently of each other, you have ones that didn't happen in the same time going off, and then you have different pitches going. I'll explain it. It'll make sense when we get to the trigger instrument editor, but I'll show you that. Change that to wave 2448 mono. Add rendered items to new tracks. Close, and then that'll show up in the same spot down here. Okay, to cut these up, we'll use dynamic splits, which you just hit D on the keyboard. Zoom in here. Make sure that it's getting... Okay, so it looks like it's not quite getting the... There we go. That looks good. Okay, so dynamic splits. When gate opens, split at gate opens, and then when gate closes. So this is where the split starts. It goes from here to when the gate closes, right there. Then I just adjust the hysteresis as if I know what that does. Eventually I'll look it up, but whatever. Then you want to remove silent areas. I'm not sure what that does, but I just leave it there. Okay, then split. Now, as you can see, the tails are pretty short on these, so what I'll just do is I like to find the ones that have the same amount of space in between them and highlight them together and just go until they're about to touch. That should be plenty. And yes, this is quite tedious. It's quite here. I can see that there might be a little too much. Let's see. Where'd it go? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that should be good. All right, then you just highlight all these, and this is a great function in here. Batch file item converter. Okay, add files, add selected media items, and then I'll just add all these to the queue. Then you set up your directory where it's going. I have a drum sample unsorted, and then name, Sonar 10, top and bottom, mono, blah, 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 blah. All that looks good. I don't know what all this means anyway. Then just convert all. 21 items processed. All right. I'm not going to do this for all the drums. Just want to show you this one. Keep this video short. I already made TCI files for everything I wanted. And then we'll just go to Trigger Instrument Editor. Now, the video I saw that Stephen Slate put out for the new Trigger Instrument Editor, I guess there was a way to just like highlight a bunch of these and throw them right onto the grid. I'm not really sure exactly how that works, but the thing is, the new interface is so easy to use that it's like I don't see why I really care to. I'll just show you how easy it is. I found with tom-toms 3x3, so you got 3 velocity layers and then 3 round robin, so it'll pick randomly for each velocity layer. So if you did this separately for the bottoms and the tops, you can't be sure that trigger is going to trigger the same ones, even if you're picking the same samples for each the top and bottom. So what would end up happening is you'd have tom-toms with 2 different pitches sounding all the time. So that's why on the toms in particular, I decided to just mix the bottom and top together. So as you can see, you could just audition everything right here and just, you know, those will be my... I will make those. That's all. Anyway, you get the idea. Then you hit calculate velocity. I'm not sure exactly what that does. Oh, here's the other thing. This is new too. AAMG. I don't know. I don't know what it stands for. Tom Direct. It's supposed to make everything sound more natural, but you got to set that for each what the sample is going to be for. So once you get all your pieces in place and you see how easy that is to do, it's great compared to the previous version. Just hit save TCI file, and I have my trigger library set up here. Sonar Tom, new one, and then save, and then boom. I did mix the top and bottom on the toms together, but I found that on the kick, the snare drum, the kick in and out, and the snare top and bottom, it wasn't as noticeable that there were different samples going off when I went to mix them in with the live performance. So what I'm gonna do first is that little solo. If you saw my last video, I posted a section of it with the close mics replaced with the room and overheads mixed in. What we're hearing right now is just the close samples. Sounds pretty natural to me. Oh, you know what? I think I still have... Yeah. There it is. And I'll start bringing in some of the ambient mics. As you can hear, that room is phenomenal. Yeah, so that's it. I'll post the TCI files in the comments and in the description, so you can download them and use them yourself. If you end up using them and you like them, let me know and send me a link to something. I'd love to hear it. All right, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.